Hello everybody, this is Gene from NYC with the second video of the night. And why am I taping a DVD featuring Roy and Hawkeye of Metal Alchemist? Because I couldn't find anything else, and I'm a big Roy fan, so I chose this. So anyway, although I will eventually do a review slash rant slash fangirl of Metal Alchemist and these two awesome characters, I'm actually well, this is totally unrelated. My DVDs that I choose to talk to very rarely are related to what I'm talking about, but this video is about the new Carmen San Diego trailer that dropped, I think, earlier today. For those who may not know, Carmen San Diego is making a comeback. Apparently it's supposed to air on Netflix later on this month. I saw the trailer and I'm not happy. I am not happy. I swear I'm not trying to, be that person who hates everything, but media keeps coming out with stuff that I just don't like. And they keep bringing back stuff that I should like, and then they ruin it by totally missing the point of the character or the work. First of all, in this new version of Carmen San Diego, you find out immediately that all the mystique about Carmen is gone. You see her face in clear, full view. If you remember the old games or the old TV shows from the 1990s, right? You may remember that part of see, this makes me wish I had a picture of Major General Armstrong instead of Riza. I love you, Riza, but I really need General Armstrong for this. But anyway, if you remember the old Carmen San Diego video games or the cartoon, you might remember that Carmen's face was always partially obscured in shadow, either using her hat, tilting her head, creating a shadow, or using her collar of her jacket, or using her hair, as she did in the 1990s cartoon, the hair that never, ever got out of place, never showed off that other eye of hers. And that's gone. So all the mystique, just by doing that, all the mystique of the character is gone. And the moment I saw that, I was like, they've just totally missed one of the major points about Carmen San Diego. She's an international woman of mystery. She's basically the female James Bond, with the exception of that she's a criminal, and she doesn't have the violent tendencies or the heartbroken and sometimes dead lovers. Otherwise, she's kind of like the reverse version of Bond, especially with all the gadgets and all the trouble that she gets into and out of. There's definitely a Bond influence there, and when you have that type of Bond influence, he's the international man of mystery. She's the international woman of mystery, and they totally lose that mystique about her by showing her face. Then the trailer reveals that instead of running vile, right, now they're making her a good, 10, 15 years younger, so we're seeing her at times as a teenager and then as a young adult. Why can't we have female heroines who are like in their 30s at least anymore? It was like standard when I was a kid to have heroines, if they weren't teenagers already, like Power Rangers, everybody was in high school. But if a character was going to have like a serious job, like say like a cop, like in Gargoyles, right? Elisa was a police officer. Elisa was in her late 20s when the series started. She was like 27. So by the time the series ended, she was probably around, probably 30. By the time that the TV series ended after the Goliath Chronicles in 1997. What is so wrong with showing a female character like Carmen, right? Who's supposed to be, again, she's supposed to be a master thief. Right, if she were meant to be, again, younger, maybe not as experienced, that would be fun. But she's always been depicted as a master spy and a master thief, who basically steals because she can. It's like, ever heard the song "Bink on Stealing" by Jane's Addiction? That's Carmen in a nutshell. She just steals because she wants to, because she likes the thrill and the chase. That's another thing that this, from what I can tell from the trailer at least, all I can do is judge the trailer, but the trailer is missing that. I'm not getting that, cat and mouse feel that the original game shows or the original games or the TV shows had. Like if you ever saw the TV show, Rita, not to say Rita Moreno because she voiced Carmen, but Carmen as a character always had this teasing element to her. It was like catch me if you can, player, that type of thing. She's always teasing you to chase her, to come after her. I'm not seeing that in this trailer. I'm not seeing that at all. There are like two red-headed white kids who I'm thinking are maybe throwbacks or callbacks or stand-ins for Zach and Ivy, who were meant to be the I guess the audience surrogate because they were teenagers themselves. But still, it's just one of those things where I just keep watching as like they're missing the point, they're missing the point, they're missing the point. You don't take the mystery from Carmen San Diego. It's like trying to separate Roy from Hawkeye. They complete each other. You don't have Roy without Hawkeye. You don't have Hawkeye without Roy. You can't separate them. If they're separated, then they're not complete. It doesn't make sense. Roy doesn't work without Roy and Hawkeye. Carmen San Diego doesn't work without that mysterious element to her. And doesn't work without her being an older, mature woman, a master thief, and the head of Vile. This may be the thing that bugs me the most about this. Apparently now Vile is a villain school that Carmen doesn't own, right, or is the head of. It's a school she attends. Apparently a school she attended from what I can tell in the trailer. Instead of, the crime syndicate that she runs. Can someone explain to me why the outraged crowd gets upset about a lack of strong female characters, but then when you have a character like Carmen San Diego, who was a former detective, former spy, master thief, ran Vile. She was a founder and boss of Vile. Just basically like a quirky version of the mafia. Right? She's basically like a nicer kidified version of a freaking kingpin, of a mafia kingpin, and you take all that away to show her as a teenager, basically learning, I guess, like the whole Mission Impossible thing, like when they rappel down walls and stuff like that. We don't need that. We don't need a Carmen that's learning. Okay, that is like a 1 or 2 episode backstory thing. It doesn't need to be the whole crux of the character or a whole season. We don't need that. And again, it's just missing the point and missing the point and missing the point. Also, apparently, there's another thing, the training montage. Look, I'm all for a good training montage. I'm all for knowing how people get their skills. But just because a training montage works in, say, Mulan, does not mean it works in this show. I don't want to see them learning. Okay? It didn't work in She-Ra. The training montages didn't work in New She-Ra. It just detracted from it. And I don't think it's going to work on this new TV show. On this new version of Carmen San Diego. I just don't see how it's gonna work, because it's just doing the whole high school thing all over again. And can we please make a show that's for kids or just all audiences that is not set in high school? Again, high school itself is not a bad setting. There are plenty of shows you can do that feature high schoolers or set in high school. Like one of my favorite shows to this day is Batman Beyond, and that's basically Batman in high school. And Terry McGinnis is in high school. But just because it works for Terry McGinnis doesn't mean it would work for Bruce Wayne. Nobody wants to see Bruce Wayne in high school unless you watch Gotham. But generally speaking, nobody wants to see Bruce in high school. And I don't think many people want to see Carmen San Diego as a young thief in training, I guess. First of all, if anything, she should be part of Acme, because this would be back when she was training to be a detective. But I'm guessing they've taken that out, or they've retconned that out. I don't know. I'm just not feeling this. I will say though, there are two things that I do find interesting and that are positives. One is the art style. While the art style is not necessarily to my taste, very little is to my taste, to be quite frank. The art style is not bad. It's one of those things where I can objectively look at it and say that it looks okay. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look ugly like, say, the new She-Ra does. I'm sorry, but just the art style chosen for that was just a bad rip-off of Steven Universe. I'm not saying all Cal Arts is bad. Again, Steven Universe. It works for that type of show. It's fine. I can accept it. But it doesn't work for She-Ra. Fortunately, the art style chosen for the new version of Carmen San Diego, again, while not necessarily to my taste, is not bad in and of itself. It's aesthetically pleasing. I can at least tell that Carmen, is indeed a Latino woman. And she doesn't look bad in costume. I just don't like the fact that we can actually see her face, because now the element of mystery is gone. And the second thing is there's a male police officer character who's I saw the Crimson Sin guys, they kind of made fun of him, saying that he looked like the Inspector Zenigata from Lupin the Third. Now here's the thing, I actually like the idea in theory of Carmen having a male love interest. Yeah. I like this because if they make him a competent character, he's just as good as Carmen is, right? He can outthink her or outsmart her or, think on her level. That would be an interesting dynamic. It would basically be the reverse version of Catwoman and Batman. She's intriguing to him, right? So you could do the same thing with Carmen. This officer, intrigues her, and then they, sort of have a UST thing going. For those who don't know what UST is, that's unresolved sexual tension. Anyway, so that would be quite interesting from my viewpoint. If they make the guy competent, it only works if the guy's actually competent. If they play him to be, the foolish inspector who's tricked by the foxy thief. There we go. Then it's just dead in the water. I hope actually that they make him a smart character. I may have to try to watch this show and see what happens. But I have my concerns. Another big one is that apparently Carmen, according to the trailer, is now a thief who steals from other thieves. Apparently her plan, after some mission goes wrong and possibly one of her vile teammates killed somebody, it's implied that somebody died, given the dialogue in the trailer. But apparently, now she wants to steal from Vile. So she's become the criminal who steals from other criminals. Okay, first of all, it's not that it's a bad concept in and of itself. The person who sort of, hunts their own has been done before, right? If you ever played Castlevania Symphony of the Night, you know that Alucard is a vampire hunting down his father, Dracula. You have, in a sense, in Terminator, the Terminator hunting down or destroying other Terminators. You have Dexter, right? The serial killer who kills serial killers. I think even in Sly Cooper, right? He's a thief, but he steals from worse thieves. So it's not necessarily that you've never had the person who is this thing hunts their own, right? Or acts against people like themselves. It's just that, again, I don't think that this works for Carmen San Diego. I don't see why, it just doesn't make any sense to me why Carmen needs to oppose Vile. Why can't she run Vile? I'm just not feeling it. I'm gonna try to give it a chance, but I have so many misgivings about this. When you change so many core aspects of a character that's been well established, it frustrates me and it concerns me. Now, it's not that the idea that a reformed thief or the thief that steals from other thieves is a bad idea in and of itself. It's not. But I don't think it's a good idea for a character as well known and established as Carmen San Diego, where you literally have decades of TV shows, video games, cartoons, showing that there's this cat and mouse game going on between the detectives and Carmen. The detectives are the cat, right? Acme's the cat, the player's the cat, Carmen's the mouse. How am I supposed to get engaged with this, right? How am I supposed to play this, cat and mouse game if you're not giving me a mouse to chase? How am I supposed to want to catch Carmen or stop Carmen if she's stealing from people who are worse than herself? It loses that, catch me if you can appeal of the original franchise. And again, I just don't think it's gonna work. Maybe it will. Maybe it'll surprise me. But these changes, I think with these changes, they're not just updating it. They're losing core aspects of what makes Carmen San Diego Carmen motherfucking San Diego. It's more than just a hat. It's more than just a coat. There's elements to her character that you really should not change. And when you change them, like removing all the mystery from the character, you making a big mistake, in my estimation. But anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. And I think I'm under the 20-minute mark. Oh my goodness. So I think I'm going to end the video here. Let me know what you think. And hopefully I'll come up with some new videos soon. Nighty night.